What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Creator's Lunch Table. And today I am fired up because we get to answer another one of your questions that you voicemailed in. What? They're voicemailing questions in, Scotty?
Oh, yeah. It's almost like they're sitting here at the table with us.
They are. They're invited to the table.
100%.
So if you want your question potentially answered here, what do they got to do, Scotty?
All you got to do is go to speakpipe.com/live video school. Again, that's speakpipe.com/live video school. Send us those messages and pull up a chair at the lunch table.
Yeah. You like how we just did that little intro? That was pretty good. That was pretty good.
Clean.
All right, cool. So here's what we're going to do. We are going to play a message. We are going to answer that question, and we're going to give them a little shout out as long as they gave us their channel name. By the way, if you do submit a question, make sure that you throw your little channel in there, because that way, free shout out here. Come on. We might not be that big right now, but we getting bigger.
Hey, we just passed 20K if you're watching this at this time.
Right.
20K.
And thank you, by the way.
Appreciate
Thank
it.
you. All right, so let's listen to this message from Marie. Let's go ahead and hit play. Here we go.
Hey, Scott and Scotty, it's Marie McCarthy here. I love your channel. Thanks so much. I've come across you since I started my own YouTube channel, and it's Marie McCarthy Mindset Coach. I'd love for you to check it out. My question for you is around the technical analytics of YouTube. As a new YouTuber, what does all of this stuff mean? Like impressions, click-through rates, Like, could you do a video or just explain what should we be looking out for? If you were even able to do a quick video and show what are your top 3 things you should be keeping an eye on that are important to grow your channel. So thank you so much. Loving your videos. You guys are great, and you've inspired me so much to do my videos and to also start an email list, which I have been procrastinating for ages. Definitely more videos on hooks as well would be amazing. Thank you so much.
All right. Well, thank you, Marie. That was amazing.
Awesome.
And great job on getting started. And analytics can be a little scary.
It can be overwhelming,
but they're super important.
100%.
And they are actually, if you look at the right things and don't get overwhelmed, can be very, very powerful and not that hard. There's 3 things that we are going to have to talk about.
Yep.
Why don't you kick it off? What are we looking at? Like, what's the first thing? We actually just went through this with our 1K collective group, and we broke it down numerous times.
Yep.
What are we looking at? The video gets uploaded.
Yep.
It's an hour old. Mm-hmm. What are we doing?
First thing, number 1, impressions, right? You're not going to know anything about your video until you look at the impressions, okay? Now, typically, if you're a newer channel, you won't get a lot of impressions out the gate. It's not going to happen because you're so new and they're trying to find the right audience, right? So usually you're going to be way under 1,000 impressions. We don't really dive deep into the analytics until we get that first 1,000 impressions, because it's not enough data in there to really make any judgment calls on anything else as far as like your click-through rate, which we'll talk about in a second, or even your watch hour, any of that. You can't look into that until you have the impressions, right? So our little baseline is 1,000 impressions. So if you're not getting 1,000 impressions yet, that comes down to the title, right? We need a great title for that. And actually, it's perfect time to drop in. We do have 10 outlier titles that we've created, and it's actually in our hook swipe file. And if you want that, all you got to do is comment hooks down below, and we'll send you that. And those titles, what that does, those outlier titles, is it helps you generate more impressions. Okay, so now we're going to get into the right targeted audience with those impressions, and then now we can start looking into other things.
I'm going to call a little timeout here.
Yeah.
So what you said is spot on, but there's one mistake that people make. And we've got one of our students, Russ, we get a little shout out to Russ,
Yep.
who, if you looked at what he has done,
Mm-hmm.
and if you looked at the impressions that he got in the first 24 hours, which was not many,
Mm-hmm.
if he would have tinkered and tweaked,
Mm-hmm.
it might have hurt.
Yeah.
But what happened after the first 24 hours? And sometimes 2 days later, what happens to his impressions?
His impressions personally, he gets a little lift. And we see it on his graph. So this is where, again, looking at your analytics, right?
Impressions, basically.
You're going to see your impressions graph, which is under the reach tab. You're going to see your impressions. Your average is going to be there in a gray line, or not even a line, but it's like a gray graph underneath what your current video is at. There's going to be a solid line of what the current video is. And that's where you can kind of tell where you're getting these, like what time, I guess, you get those impressions at on average. So if it's in the first day, if it's in the second day, you're going to see literally a spike of going up. At some point, no matter how new your video is or your channel is, you're going to see that graph. And you're going to see where you are compared to all the other videos. And so what we noticed with him is he would almost flatline right in the first day. Got to the second day, a little bit more, and then probably halfway through the second day, it was a big spike. All his impressions were coming to that time, meaning the algorithm was trying to find an audience, and always for him right now is trying to find an audience and doesn't find the ideal audience to push to until about 2.5 days in. Right? So back to your point, if he changed anything before that, as far as like title and stuff, it could mess with that reach he's going to get. He's got to be patient. We call it let it breathe. Let the algorithm do its work. Let the video breathe for that duration and let it go. And as a new channel, I mean, it could take 3 days, 4 days, 5 days before you get any of that reach. Now, after that time, even if you still don't get anything, it's probably because you don't have enough content on the channel. Right? Let's be honest. Like when we started on this channel, we were getting, what, 250 impressions?
Impressions. That's not views.
Impressions on like 3 days. You know, we weren't getting 1,000 until the end of the week. So for that, all it was fill the catalog. Right? So we were hitting our niche, which was all in our titles, right? We were putting all YouTube stuff in there, defining it, niching down a little bit. And then eventually it took 21 videos before we really got any push.
It did. It did. Yeah. It took 21 videos before we had one that actually popped. Now we had some that had maybe 400 views or whatever, but there was plenty of times that for the first week, we're like, got 200 impressions. Like, and so, but this is what I've learned over the years. So if you guys are new to the channel here, you know, I've been doing this now for 15 plus years. Actually, I just went back and I was telling him, I went back 2008 was my first upload on YouTube. And that was the first brand that I built on the back of YouTube that ended up doing multiple six figures. But with that right there, it's like, you also have to think to yourself, give yourself some time, especially if you're new, and understand that you're creating a back catalog. That actually makes it feel a little better that if you're like, oh, well, no one's watching it now, but they might be in the future. And we've got a video right now that we did very, very early on. And it was me in the back of the car. You recorded it. We had your mother drive us around and we answered questions. And there's one now that's out of the gate, it got like 100 views maybe.
I don't even know who's that.
It was low. And now it's over like 8,000 or 9,000 because it's getting basically shown by people that have already watched some of our content. Because you got to remember, once someone watches some of your content, YouTube's going to feed them with more of your content, or people might just want to go and binge some more of your content. So don't get too discouraged. Anyway, back to the analytics. Impressions are
number one.
It's the thing that's letting you know, is the algorithm even seeing me? People often think, well, the thumbnail is what's going to happen. So let's talk about, okay, so the next thing is, let's say that you are getting some impressions. Let's say that you're getting a couple thousand impressions. What are we looking at for, the click-through rate?
So CTR, or click-through rate, is pretty much when someone clicks on a video, all the impressions. So anytime someone swipes past your video, if they stop and click, that would be a click on an impression, right? And so if you have 1,000 people that scrolls past your video and 50 of them, click on it, you would have a percentage of how many people compared to the impressions clicked on your video. And so anyway, we aim for, typically we like to be above 5%. I mean, more 6, I would say, but starting out, five is okay.
Yeah, it's okay.
Obviously, anything higher is great. Okay. But once you get those first couple thousand impressions, you want to be above 5%, because if it's low, that means that your thumbnail is not doing the job. It means you're getting the impressions, which is great. Okay. But either your audience isn't liking it. Maybe it is hitting the wrong audience. But you're probably not getting those clicks because something with the thumbnail is not either interesting enough. Maybe it doesn't relate enough to the title to where it made them want to click. Maybe just, honestly, hate to say it, wasn't a good title or a thumbnail. Maybe it sucked. It wasn't good.
Hey,
right?
We've all had them.
And that's why we do the A/B split test, which if you don't know that.
They just rolled that out this past year in 2024. So they give us that. We used to have to use a third-party tool. Now we don't. So
And you can put up to 3 different thumbnails in there, and it will rotate through all of them to try to find the best one for your audience. So we test that. We actually test it with only 2 thumbnails, but you can do that right now in every video. So we want to have that high click-through rate. So if we see it's under 5% and we have a couple thousand, like you said, we have 2,000 impressions, it's at 3.9%. It's not a title issue because the title's getting the impressions, okay? Because title always relates with impressions. The clicks come from the thumbnail. So that means my thumbnail, not good, right? I got to fix that. So that's when I would change the thumbnail, right? And I would try to find another one that works better. Or next time I do a video, I'm going to know, I got to try something different with my thumbnail. You know, maybe before I wasn't putting any text. I'm going to add a couple words of text for curiosity, right?
Yeah, right.
Maybe I wasn't adding in what I was talking about. If I was talking about plants, maybe I wasn't putting any plants in there. It was just me with a blank wall like this, right? I need plants in there, right? So just a couple different things you can add in there, make your thumbnails a little bit better to click on, right? So that's the second thing. So you got impressions,
impressions,
then click-through rate.
Then click-through rate. Okay, and the third, now, so just thinking about this though, just so people understand, this is how, again, this is our theory. Yeah. We can't prove it. No one can prove it.
Yep.
But YouTube wants people to watch videos that they genuinely enjoy. That's what they're trying to do, right? So they give impressions, say, hey, we're over here. You click on it. That shows, oh, I'm interested in that. That drew me in. The next piece is retention. And it's going to be that 30-second spot. So we want to look at that. So there's another spot there that you can look in your analytics that'll say, how was that percentage-wise? And we like to fall, generally we like to be above 65%. If we get above 70, we're crushing. But that's the beginning of that video. So that's your intro hook. And that's where you're really going to try to grab the attention. That's something we worked on a lot with our 1K collective. I mean, we spent 4 weeks every week dissecting and really going through them, and even just ourselves, just constantly refining and tweaking. But there's something there that if you can get those 3 pieces, I mean, you can really crush. And you can look and see, like if you had a video that got a 70% retention on that, we talk about it. It's like a baseball player, right? You look at your last at bat. You did really good. You hit the ball real well. You want to go and see, why did I hit the ball so well? You didn't do so well. I want to see, why didn't I do so well? So use the analytics, all of these analytics to help you get better, impressions, get better click-through rate, and get better retention. And if you do that, your video will most likely get pushed out to more audiences.
Yeah, and those are the top 3 I would stick to understanding and learning like right away. But again, all of that doesn't happen until you get the impressions. So where does that come? Titles. Again, I'm going to drop it again. We have 10 outlier hooks that will help you get those impressions. All you got to do is put in your niche in it. And then again, you can generate then and should be getting some views off that. That's what we give to our 1K collective group. But we actually have a free one for you guys with 10 of those hooks. So if you just comment hooks down below, we'll give you those 10, not 5, 10.
We're over delivering.
We're gonna give you 10.
The heck are you talking
of
about?
Those titles, which have worked not just on our channel, but even some of our clients, even some people that haven't even signed up for any of our trainings.
I get email every single day that basically are saying like, yeah, I tried them and I've got the most views on a video yet. Right. So it's not saying it's going to work for everyone.
No. Yeah.
But these have been proven to work for us on 2 different channels. Or actually 3 channels.
3 channels.
And 3 channels of our own. Let's say that. But give them a shot. You know what I mean? Give them a shot.
Yeah. So just comment hooks and we'll send you that.
Yeah. All right. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to let you guys know about, well, if you want to come up to the table here, all you got to do is just go ahead and voicemail in your message. Head on over to speakpipe.com/live video school. Once again, that's speakpipe.com/live video school. And guys, that's it. That's going to wrap it up. And as always, remember, I got to say that part? Okay.
Try again. Take 2.
You going to leave that in? Yeah, leave that in. All right, guys, that's it. That's going to wrap it up. As always, remember, I'm here for you.
I believe.
No, we're here for you. Let's do it again.
We're together.
All right.
We.
All right, here you go. And as always, guys, remember, we're here for you.
We believe in you.
We're rooting for you.
But you have to.
You must.
Say it with me.
Say it loud. Say it proud. Take action. Woo! We got through it.
And he was struggling on that one.
All right.
And you know what?
Listen.
Bring him in a little bit.
Let's bring it in now.
Hey, pull the seat up.
Okay,
that was exclusive right now.
That was the part of the main show. Now you're behind the scenes. Now you're at the lunch table when everybody else left. We're like, hey, get on over here. We got some stuff to talk about. So here's what we do at the end of these shows. Okay. We want to know that you were here for the whole show. So we have a little word at the end of the show. And today we've got a word that was actually from one of our 1K collective students. And he said, you should use this as your little keyword at the end.
And we're going to shout him out. Corey in our 1K collective, his channel is Smoky Beginnings Barbecue. And let me tell you, you got to check it out because the food looks amazing.
Yeah,
like
he's
amazing.
crushing too.
And he's doing great.
He's doing great. And he's getting, the last video was over 1.4.
Yeah.
And it's a fairly newer channel. And he's got a couple other ones that are bigger, but the stuff looks amazing. So check him out.
Good food.
But he actually suggested that we use the word, say this word in the comments, cold brew.
I just had one. I actually kind of want another one now. Yeah, cold brew.
Come on over and sit at the lunch table. As long as you're here, bring that cold brew on over. All right. All right, guys, that is going to wrap it up. We'll see you on the next one.